Now, according to a new survey by Aviva, 1/5 of adults aged between 18 and 34 who currently have their own place intend to boomerang back to the parental home in coming months. As, of course, the cost of living crisis, generation-defining inflation, continues to bite. It means as many as 2 million adult kids could soon be sleeping in their childhood bedrooms. So what are we going to do about all of this? Well, to give her thoughts on this story is someone who falls into this age category, the political commentator Lettice Bromovsky. Lettice, thank you very much for your time. Lettice, you know somebody, correct me if I'm wrong, you know someone who's planning to or already has moved back in with the parents because of this cost of living crisis, don't you?
Yeah. So I've got a house of some of my friends. They all live together. There's 3 of them, and 2 of them are moving back home. They're not going to renew their lease. They're moving back home to just help deal with this financial issue. The 3rd girl, unfortunately, her parents don't live in London, so that's not an option for her. But I think what I've seen and what you were just saying, a lot of the articles in the news around this at the moment are how are the parents going to deal with their children moving home again, what parents should do, how they should manage this situation. But it's not just about the parents here. We need to look at this from the perspective of a young person. This isn't a choice for them. We're being forced into this situation because of these external factors of financial issues. I mean, no one, when they leave home at 18, goes, don't worry, mom and dad, I'm going to see you again in 5 or 6 years because I can't afford to pay my rent, or I can't afford to pay my energy bills, or I've got about £50,000 worth of student debt that's got 7% interest rates on it. This isn't what people want. And a lot of people, young adults, when they move out of the big city or they go to university and they get their first job, it's a very low income salary. So you're not earning lots of money, and benefits for young people in these situations, they're not that great. For example, you don't get a housing cost benefit. So there are so many financial situations that aren't there to support these young people. And it's not a choice. And I think that's really important for people to understand.
Many of my viewers will be saying, well, not in my house, thank you very much. They're not coming back now. They'll quite like, being in their retirement and having their home to themselves, and be worried about the fact that their children might have to come back because of the financial constraints that we're all experiencing. But I'm wondering, Lettice, have you got any thoughts around what this actually means for wider society? Because it'll mean fewer marriages, right? Because people won't be able to move in with each other. It'll mean fewer children because people aren't in their own homes able to actually bring a child into the household. There are going to be so many societal knock-on effects by what is essentially a frozen infantilization of an entire generation, isn't it?
Well, I think you're right on some of those points, because there's going to have to be a serious conversation between these parents and their children, who are now adults, about how their relationship's going to progress going forward. When you move out of home, you've got this independence and this freedom. It's so exciting. You can go out on a Tuesday night and stay out for as long or as late as you want to. You might regret it the next day, but that's your choice. Going home, it's now who's going to do the cooking? If you go out, what's your sort of curfew? How much are you going to contribute to bills? And whether it's that longer term effect of how long are you actually planning on staying at home? Some parents might find that idea sort of terrifying, but it comes at both sides. It's not just young people who are dealing with this cost of living crisis. A lot of families who are from low and middle income backgrounds, they're going to need potentially more people to help them pay maybe their mortgage. We've seen mortgage rates have been going up significantly recently. Everyone's got their energy bills, and having another person in the house who's going to contribute to that's going to be beneficial for the parents as well as the child, perhaps. So it's sort of two sides to this coin.
What do you say to some of my viewers who will be saying, oh, come on, Lettice, get off it, right? I remember when interest rates were sky high, double digits. When I bought my house, that was genuine struggle. The last generation really struggled to buy their own homes too. What do you say to those people who are saying, well, actually, I'm hearing you moan and groan, Lettice, but I just don't buy it?
Well, I won't speak to those people, but I'll speak to Liz Truss and the government and say reform planning. get rid of this bureaucracy. Let's liberalize it all so that house prices will come down, so that rents will come down, and people will be able to get on that property market. In 1995, for example, 2/3 of young adults, so people between 25 and 34, were already on that property market. Now it's only around a quarter. So we have seen a huge reduction in the number of people who are even allowed to get onto that. We need to give people the chance to do that. And at the moment, with all these skyrocketing prices, it just seems impossible. And people won't be getting off that property ladder. They might not be moving out of their parents' house for many years to come.
Lettice, then, I'm wondering, do you reckon there's an argument to be had here to say that we just need to have fewer young people living in London, for example?
I mean, that's sort of a hard conversation to have, or a hard argument to push, because this is where the jobs are. Young people move to London as a sort of exciting, London or any other big city really in the UK. It's sort of where lots of jobs are. There's lots of prosperity. It's where young people go out together, lots of restaurants. It's a very, very social sort of place. And it's where people want to be. And I don't think you can say to anyone, you know, oh, you can't go there because it's too expensive. We need to accommodate for these people so that anyone can live anywhere that they choose, kind of thing. And yeah, rents are high, but there are different areas of London where it might be lower. You know, you don't live so much in central as you do sort of out towards the east, which is where I live with my friends at the moment. But it's a long conversation. And really, at the end of the day, we've got to get finances under control. We've got to allow for more planning to go ahead and for it not to be so complicated. And there has to be a bit of more support and consideration, perhaps, for young people who are having to battle all of this and not see moving back home as a sort of regression and failure of themselves, but as just a sort of stepping stone to, it's okay, I'm going home, but I've got a plan, a financial plan. I'm going to save X amount each month, and within a year, I'm going to be moving back out again. You know, this is for now, it's not forever.
All right, Lettice Bromovsky, thank you very much for your time on that topic.